Holy shit, everyone. What a horn-tugging, cock-sucking rodeo of a wonderful episode do we have for you fuckwits today. That's already two. We got a rated R rating for this episode, so buckle up, strap on, and strap in. Welcome back to another episode of Shut Up and Enjoy. I am your host, Spoiler Pool. That is your first warning, joined by my, as always, infallible co-host, comic accurate height Wolverine. If you can't tell by that off the cuff, whatever the hell word vomit just came out of my mouth, this is a review on Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoiler alert, spoilers. You can't say we didn't warn you, spoilers. If you are pissed that we're spoiling stuff, shut the fuck up, turn off the podcast, watch the movie,
And then come back and
then
listen.
come back and listen. So, yeah, you've been fucking warned. Where
No
the
bitching.
hell do we begin on this one? Because this was everything I want. It had everything I wanted. It had stuff I didn't know I wanted. It was a chef's kiss, le piece de resistance, cherry on the can of spam Logan and Wade enjoyed in the diner. Like every fucking thing I wanted. Where do we start?
I, I think we just need to talk, just start talking and then see where it goes.
So the premise is the premise of this movie is Wade's universe, Earth 10005,
Mm-hmm.
is in jeopardy of disintegrating and pruning because it lost its anchor being. Anchor being is a TVA term for a person or entity within a universe that kind of holds it together because of the role that they play and the person or being they become and how they impact events in their universe. This one is dying because this universe is Logan from the movie, the 2017, 18, 19,
2017.
17 movie Logan died. So this universe is collapsing. So Wade then tells the TVA to go fuck themselves. That's three. Um, and goes and tries to find a new Wolverine to bring back and transplant into his universe to assume the role of their anchor being. Um, that's how the movie kind of starts before we get into the big plot. Right now, what's going on is Wade is a used car salesman. But
Not a
even
very good one.
Yeah, but even before we get into that, this is going to be the most ADD episode ever.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Um, it starts very similar to Deadpool 1, where we're in the middle of an action scene and we get you're probably wondering how I fit these pants and or this ass into size small pants, or your girlfriend's probably thinking, what the fuck did you bring me to? Was supposed to be a Valentine's Day movie. We get one of those montages, but it's Deadpool murking a bunch of bitches from the TVA.
Yep. What I liked about that scene, again, it was the very beginning of the film. We open with him digging up Logan. He's
The
back in the
North Dakota. Yep.
wilderness of North Dakota. So we were correct from the very first trailer when we said that was where Logan
Yeah.
was buried. Um, we see him digging him up. I guess he was figuring that since, Wolverine has the healing factor, perhaps he can still be alive or what have you.
There is a comic iteration where a Wolverine is just the adamantium skeleton and a drop of his blood drops onto the skeleton and he completely regenerates.
Right.
So not
It was
completely
possible.
comic inaccurate. However, continue.
However, in this one, no, there's only the adamantium skeleton. And then at this point is where the TVA pulls up. It's about a good 10 or 11 red shirts. How ironic. Because Deadpool goes ham on them. And I like how he used the skeleton as his weapons to take fools out, stabbing with the claws, using the bones all over the place.
And the strap-on of the claws is, I believe, what the original iteration of Wolverine was. The claws were part of the gloves. It wasn't
Yes,
the sing.
yes, yes.
Yes.
So again, it brings it all back, which is kind of what we expected from this film. And they did a very good job of putting it all together, of bringing in some of the old things from
Mm.
the comics, a lot of things from the old films, and it all worked quite well.
Yeah. It starts the exhuming of the body is perfect because it's the regenerative healing and everything and coming up, and then you hear the shovel hit the skeleton. He moves it, and then you just hear him go, "Son of a bitch, motherfucker," and starts beating the adamantium with the shovel because wrong Logan. And he mostly holds to his promise of the TVA of, "I promise I won't use any of my weapons against you." And that's where the skeleton comes in. I think there's just the one guy that he bounced the sword.
Yes.
And even the whole fight scene is just so Deadpool, where the song when he's first digging up is Only You
Hmm.
by the Platters, which based on like some reviews I saw, maybe like a homage to it's always been Logan and it's always been Wolverine and Deadpool, and only you can save the universe, what have you. But then immediately, once the fighting starts, we get NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye.
Yes, we do.
There's no logical reason or cinematic reason other than the fact that Ryan Reynolds said, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Let's do it. Yes.
For
And to
that.
see Deadpool dancing the exact choreography that they had from the song and video, beautiful.
I didn't know I needed that until I
Yeah.
that's one of the things. Um, Additionally, I think maybe the reason they use that song is because with Celine, the whole music video for Ashes for Deadpool 2 with Celine Dion, at the end, Wade goes, "Celine, that was great. That was an 11 out of 10. But we got to bring it down like 7 max. This is Deadpool, not Titanic." And Celine Dion's response is, "Beat it, Spider-Man." And Deadpool goes, "Oh, I should have hired NSYNC." So maybe this was that reference of him going and hiring NSYNC versus Celine Dion.
Right, right.
Um, I don't know, just a weird connection I made. So that all got batshit, and then we rewind a little bit to figure out how we got him to pissing off the TVA.
Hmm.
We see the birthday party, we see uh X-Force members coming back. We see Peter, we see Dopinder, we see Starstruck, Lightstar,
Ah, I can't remember.
his name. We see Sonic Teenage Warhead. We
Hmm.
see
Yukio.
Yukio. We see Colossus
Hmm.
again, and Vanessa.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, they're not all buddy buddy like they were. They were not the complete set of Voltron figures. They were not all five lion rings coming together to form one giant lion.
No, she has a man,
She
and it
got a
ain't
man.
him.
I guess Wade's face is not a face that she could sit on after several drinks anymore. This episode's going downhill real fast, but hey,
Hey, so we had a great time in the film. So,
yeah.
what one thing that I guess just to jump back really quick,
Mm.
they showed how he went to Stark
Hmm.
headquarters to try and become a part of the Avengers. He came in for as essentially a job interview
Hmm.
and hooked up with Happy Hogan, who was giving him the interview, and it was good to see him in the film as well. You know, again, another, that was probably the very first unexpected cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was good to see him,
Yeah. A lot of
and
Easter eggs there.
a lot of Easter eggs in that office scene. One thing that we talked about a little bit earlier, we did see the mask of or one of Tony Stark's masks on the shelf in front of the picture that in front of the picture that Stark took with
Peter.
Peter Parker, but the mask was in front of Peter Parker so that we couldn't see.
And more specifically, which mask was it?
It was the mask from the kid in
The
what was
Stark
that
Expo,
at the Stark Expo?
Iron
Yes,
Man 2. So, which I think Kevin Feige confirmed that that was young Peter Parker.
right. They
So that
retconned
was
it.
a Spider-Man, not Spider-Man nod right there.
Yeah.
What other cameo or what other Easter eggs did we get there? We got the proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
Hmm.
We got a
Cap shield.
cap shield, the unfinished one
Yes.
that Tony used to level the um, particle accelerator to make the
Hmm.
palladium. We got the Mark II Iron Man that oh my God, what's his name?
Rhodey.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the actor's name.
Terrence Howard.
Thank you. That Terrence Howard's roadie was like, next time.
Next
Uh,
time, baby.
we got Pepper on Forbes. We also got the Iron Man 2 suit and a briefcase as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
That was in there. Very good. But yeah, so a lot of original throwbacks there that was already plucking at the nostalgia heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was the good thing about it is that it was done, the entire movie was done this way, but in particular in this scene, the member berries were done tastefully. So it wasn't over the top. You know, they didn't linger on anything. It was just there. Things that eagle eye viewers are going to see as they're watching the scene.
Mhm.
So I always enjoy when they put those there, but they don't
They're in the
linger
background.
on. Yeah,
They don't command time, but they have time. Uh, for all time, always. There we go. Yeah. And he just kind of fails the interview. And I love that scene where Happy stands up and he goes, "Oh, you're standing, so we're done now."
yeah,
As a very like corporate nod of like, well, thanks for coming in. We'll let you know. Don't
we'll let
don't
you know.
call us.
We'll get in contact with you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Or well, I'll have my people call your people.
Right,
Yeah, it was good to see that and kind of bringing in an OG Marvel Cinematic character
right.
versus bringing in like I don't know, even like Abomination would seem like that type of tier or Captain Marvel or a Kamala Khan run in. Um, it just they brought in someone that was a heavy hit again, like those Easter eggs there. They brought someone in who had weight and gravity to their character, but it versus if they brought in Tony Stark or Pepper Potts, it would have completely changed that scene, I
I
think.
agree. Yep, yep.
Um, or even like Nick Fury, like even. even like Maria Hill.
Hmm. Who was still alive at that time? Yes.
Again, and right now at that time, no, not that time. I'm mixing up timelines and references, but yes, even if it was like Maria Hill, like that would have been, I think, almost too much and too nouveau
Hmm.
based on her roles in Spider-Man and Secret Invasion and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was done perfectly.
Hmm. Then from there, we go.
Go to work first, and then on his way home from work is when go to the party.
They go to the party and he notices someone taking pictures because
Yeah.
he was a essentially bounty hunter for hire, so it could have been an enemy. He was in special forces. He still has those wits about him. And
Right.
he and Peter are talking about like, no, I'm not Deadpool. Nobody's Deadpool. Nobody's DPing it up. Like, we're done with that. And then yes, we get the party, and the music underneath that was Angel in the Morning. It wasn't the Juice Newton version, it was a cover of it, but that was the same song playing on the highway chase scene in the
Hmm.
first Deadpool. They just call me Angel, you're my
Hmm.
an angel. Um, so again, nods back to the old other movies, subtle, but if you were listening, you heard it and you got it.
Right. It's all in that same universe, so it all makes sense.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, and then we get the scene from the trailer where they're blowing out the candles, or they go through the you want to do some cocaine? Whoa, 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 that's the one thing not to. And they do the force bump and all this and the Disney knock, do you want to build a snowman? Yes, but I can't. Like, and then we get cake, and then we have the uh knock at the door.
Hmm. Hmm. And he goes to answer the door, and it's the TVA waiting for him. And again, this is what we saw way back in the very first trailer, the Super Bowl trailer back in February, is where we got this scene. And so it
But we
played out
didn't
just
get
like we
we
saw.
didn't get all of it because originally he opens the door and he's like, "Oh, well, what song do you guys dance to?" And I don't kiss on the mouth, which is a reference to I forgetting the movie. Um,
Pretty Woman.
yes, where is it? Julia Roberts?
Oh yeah.
Never actually seen Pretty Woman.
Ooh, that's funny.
I'll watch that when you watch Lord of the Rings, and we'll review them.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh. Yes, reference to Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. Where she's a prostitute and it's like, what do you do? Anything,
Everything
but no kissing
except
on the mouth,
kiss on the
except
mouth.
kissing on the mouth. So
Yeah.
reference to that. Then they pull out the batons, the pruning batons, and you get the whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not new to pegging, but Disney is, and you get that first fourth, really good fourth wall break
Yeah.
right there. And the pegging is the allusion to or the nod to again Deadpool 1 when you go through that whole um montage of the like January scene, February scene, March, and it's the International Women's Day, and yep.
Hmm.
Don't know what pegging is? Ask Kevin Feige. He's explaining to Disney
Yeah.
what that is.
He had to explain it to the higher ups too. So imagine that in a meeting.
I would have loved to have been there to see him explain that to Bob Iger. Or to watch the Disney IT traffic of how many people start looking up pegging.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been hilarious.
Server crash right up the top.
Um, so then the TVA takes Wade, opens one of them time door things, takes Wade, rips the toupee off it. He staple guns to his head.
Yeah.
And all throughout, he still has the staples in his skull. Um, and again, with the TVA continuing with the trailer of he wakes up and he's, you appeared to have soiled yourself while you were unconscious. I wasn't unconscious. where we meet Paradox,
Yes.
who I really like the Screen Crush comparison of just a Disney executive trying to get rid of any evidence about Fox.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just worrying about getting something done quickly so he can get a promotion. I
Hmm.
think we saw that with was that W Warner Brothers when they rushed out Suicide Squad so that the CEO could get his bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah. And it really doesn't work out for anyone in the end.
Never does.
So we see that where Paradox then explains everything that's going on, why the universe is dying, and we see the montage. We see a lot of Age of Ultron. We see Civil War. At one point, we see the snap. We see a an overlay of when Loki dies in Thor: The Dark World,
Yeah.
and it's Deadpool overlaid Loki where Thor's holding him, and that oddly enough haunts Wade throughout. Whenever he wakes up, it's oh Thor or oh God of Thunder. And I don't know why that's weighing on him so much, but it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I it's probably because that is something that hadn't happened to him, and could it possibly be something that's going to happen to him in the future?
mm.
So I would imagine if, I mean, I guess you could think about it if you actually saw something that would happen in your future that might just put a little bug in your ear and be on your mind a lot.
Yeah, but if I go out in Chris Hemsworth's arms, there's worse ways to go out.
Valid point.
So then he decides to fuck your whole entire face. Um, break Paradox's nose, says, I'm out, I'm not doing this shit. I'm gonna save my universe versus you who wants to ruin it.
Hmm.
And then we have our Logan montage. How many different Logans did we see?
At least eight, I would say. At least.
The first one was you, comic accurate height Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah, which was hilarious.
And in that axe bar, and I love he still has those merc instincts after being retired for a bit. Door opens, someone's an axe throwing, he throws it, he catches it, and hands it right back to him.
Hmm.
We see 5'4" uh Logan get off the bar.
Little Logan.
Little Logan, little Wolvie. Immediately fucks off with that one. Then the next one, um,
The yellow suit one, maybe?
one of the yellow suits.
Hmm. Then we saw Patch.
Then we saw Patch, yeah. Then we saw, was it Crucifixion?
Yes, that
Uh,
sounds about right.
then we saw One Hand Logan.
Hmm.
Then we saw the Wolverine versus Hulk,
Yes.
who there's
Oh
just
no, I think that was a yellow suit one.
no, that was the maroon and gold. Remember
Okay.
Like X-Men Unlimited, those comic book run. Um, Then and with that one, Deadpool had this similar line to Loki from Avengers, where it's like, I am a god, you are all beneath me. And Wade goes, I am Marvel genius, you insolent fool. Backhanded across the forest. Um, then we get, was this the big one with Superman?
I think yes.
Then we got Henry Cavill, whose schedule freed up because
He's no longer doing the Superman
uh,
thing.
I good luck James Gunn on that one. We got Henry Cavill as Wolverine, which he looked damn good as
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
well
I
done. Well
I
done.
would not be mad if he ultimately becomes
Yeah.
a version of Wolverine. We'll just say that.
Yes.
I would not be mad.
And then I think that's nine at this point. So now we come to the worst
The
Wolverine.
worst Wolverine.
So gets him at a bar. We get the high peanut. And we still have no idea what Logan did. It takes a while to get that third act flashback
Yeah, yes. Yes,
uh,
it does.
to figure out exactly what Logan did. And we'll get to that in a bit. But he takes him. He says, unless you want to breathe through a fucking hole in your skull, looking right down the barrel and uh, oh, what's wrong? It commonly happens to Wolverines over 40.
Yeah. Then Wolverine gets the drink from the bartender,
The whole bottle.
drinks the whole bottle, and then just falls out.
And just throwing back, the first time we really see Logan in X-Men into the year 2000
Hmm.
in a bar,
Yep.
not too dissimilar. And we see a lot of Logans in bars, um, which, I mean, it fits. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, right.
Um, so that was good touch. So then Wade brings Logan back into the TVA. He's kind of passed out and drunk. And he is explained as to how this is the worst Wolverine, the worst Logan.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and as tensions arise in that faction of the TVA, it results with Logan and Wade getting pruned and sent to the void,
Into the void.
where we get a lot of shots from the trailer.
Hmm.
Um, we see the "Don't just stand there, you ape, help me up." On second thought, but most importantly, we got a huge cameo, which again, I didn't know I needed until I got it.
Until we got it. Yes. Chris Evans.
The Captain Torch, even in America.
I really liked the way that he was introduced. Just someone off in the distance watching what was going down, telling them to, hey, chill. We got company coming. And then, the whole thing that we're all thinking as the audience is okay, this is
Steve
a
Rogers got pruned because he fucked with the timeline.
yes, yes. So this is a Captain America. This is a okay. Some shit's about to go down now when the people roll up. Um, those that rolled up were again some of the other cameos that we knew were in the film.
Sabretooth, Toad, um, Pyro.
Pyro, yep.
Yep. But yeah, we had no idea that we were getting Johnny Storm with a superhero landing,
Yes. The first one was real good.
right? And his whole thing was, oh my God, he's gonna fucking say Avengers. Uh, I really liked how Pyro was just like, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take all
Thank
of that.
you. Yeah.
Oh man.
We got a Wolvie v. Sabretooth
Hmm.
line, um, and fight scene, which was a lot faster than I thought it would be.
That's funny. I thought it would go down exactly like it went down. Just because in one of the previous Wolverine movies, when he was talking about I'll cut your fucking head off. See how that works for you. I was thinking, okay, this is how it's gonna go right quickly, just be done with it so that there's not a lot of drama or any of that stuff. And then it would also show how strong and powerful he is.
While I wasn't expecting it to be that short, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, yeah, it
Because
was
again,
perfect.
you have all of these cameos. You can't, it's not an Avengers movie where you have six stars coming together. Widow, Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, Cap, Iron Man. Like you don't have all of that. Not everyone needs the screen time.
Right.
So they all fight a little bit. Um, and then Toad turns on Wolverine's weakness. Fucking magnet.
Yep.
And actually, a little further on, I was wrong before.
Okay.
Once we get to the next scene, when they've been captured, put in a cage, Human Torch is explaining what the fuck is happening. And we get our first mention of Cassandra Nova
Hmm.
without knowing in universe, this is the first mention of her. In the comics, she is a complicated character. While she is not directly Xavier's sister, she's not Xavier's sister.
Hmm.
Kind of strangled in the womb, lived as a pile of goo, and then decided to take the DNA and shape her body after
Hmm.
what Xavier's sister would look like.
Right.
So yes and no. Um, so we get to Xavier or Cassandra's fortress, which Paul Rudd finally aged in Giant Man's head. Funny that a
Hmm.
telepath is living in a skull. And one of the videos I was watching said that she built her own Cerebro within Ant-Man's skull.
Okay, I can see that.
Like some of the piping and architecture had those triangular shapes
Hmm.
similar to Cerebro, which I thought was interesting.
Hmm.
Um, And another theory, again, from Screen Crush, is that Giant Man was the one from Ant-Man Quantumania when he
Yeah.
grows big and then spaghettifies, similar to
Hmm.
how the universes spaghettify in uh, Loki season 2, as well as later on in this movie.
Hmm.
So I thought that
I
was a
can
very
see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
Right. And
That
again, I don't know if we've mentioned this already, but I was going to that again, this movie, while it is in the MCU and a part of that going forward, it didn't have a lot of direct tie-ins. So this could be a way of a subtle tie-in
Mhm.
to that, to the MCU that we all know over these last damn near 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. We've
Yeah.
been waiting 20 years for this. Oh, he's got the pajamas on. Been waiting 20 to see these. Yes. So they have a nice little chit chat. Deadpool goes off and tells Cassandra that Johnny Storm called her all sorts of names, possibly the most creative string of God only knows. And I don't know if I can like find that list of names.
I it would be interesting. I don't think you can, but if you can, God bless you. But it was long, it was intense, and she didn't quite like that too much. So she had to handle her business with that.
And specifically said, I don't care if she rips off my skin. I
Yeah.
will be happy until I have skull fucked the ashes of her body.
Yeah.
Like I can't find it. I wish I could though.
We'll have it for you in the future for sure.
Yet. Jesus. Fuck.
Yes.
And of course he's denying, oh, I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything. Which then zoop, goes the skin and ploop goes the blood, guts, and gore.
Mm. It was a pretty horrific scene, kind of comical, very comical actually. And so that's the end of our first major cameo.
Mainly because do you have any idea how much he charges per scene? Next up, we see that Cassandra is has an accord with Eliath,
Hmm.
it almost seems. And Wade and Logan are lunch.
Time to eat, time to feed.
So everyone starts scattering after Cassandra does a weird finger skull fuck to Wade.
Hmm.
Starts manipulating his memories a little bit, and he pulls out, like, she never said that. Talking about his worthiness of mattering,
Hmm.
wants to matter. Um, and this is where I was wrong earlier. I said they escaped on a Iron Man Gen 1 jet boot. It's actually a Sentinel leg, which is how Logan knew how to hotwire it.
Right, right.
So I was wrong earlier.
That's
Uh,
okay.
Again, I was wrong. I can admit it,
Imagine that. You're a
right?
grown up.
So they escape and then start wandering to the borderlands because Johnny Storm told them that there was a rebellion forming and a few people left in the borderlands. So that's
Hmm.
where they are off to.
Yep.
Next up, the next place we find him is in the diner
Hmm.
where Logan starts chugging rubbing alcohol like a champ.
Don't
They
recommend, by the way.
Yeah, they enjoy spam.
Do recommend, although I haven't had it in years. That kind of
We
made
from
me want
we
some.
from the Mid-Atlantic. Let's just go straight to Scrapple.
Oh, so good.
Mm.
Haven't had that in a while either. Might need to this podcast is turned into something else right now.
Mm.
But
This is cooking with Chris and Dante. So they start making their way to the borderlands, and we get the first, second iteration of Deadpool. We get Dogpool,
Yes.
Blessings.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins voted Britain's ugliest dog.
Which makes sense.
Yep. Who is owned by Nice Pool. Ryan Reynolds with flowing hair, or
Long hair and a little
Wish.com font
do
man bun.
do up. Yeah. Got a
Yep.
little bit of everything going on there.
Yep. They go back and forth a little bit, and then in order to get to the Borderlands, Nice Pool loans them the Honda Odyssey, which is the car that earlier Wade was showing the family and had horrific reviews and thoughts on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. So they get it. He throws a little guff back and forth, and then we get cue Blake Lively's TikTok of uh, how do you know Deadpool is dating a millennial? Where the first song, once they start driving Cross Void, is Avril Lavigne. Um, which I can't remember the name of the song. Shit.
I got nothing.
I'm with you. Yep. It's a take me by the hand, take me somewhere new. I don't know you. Yeah. And they get a little travel montage there where Wade slips up and says, if the TVA can fix Logan's universe, because that was the whole
Hmm.
crux of Logan agreeing to join Wade of the TVA being able to help fix his universe and what he did, which we still don't know what the fuck he did,
Right.
um, or didn't do.
Right. It's all up in the air.
Yeah. So one of the best close quarters fight scenes ever. They just duke it out in a fucking Honda Odyssey.
Yes.
The use of the seat belts in this combat, the the knives, the stakey stabs, the callback again to Deadpool 1, slamming the head into the radio and changing the song. You got a clip of The Greatest Show
Hmm.
from The Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman, musical guy. Sorry, there's some weird noise behind me. I was like, what the fuck? Someone's coming into my condo. We're good. Um, one of the best fight scenes, and then it ends with the camera zooming down to a coexist bumper sticker
Yes.
with blood spatters and spurts coming on.
Yeah.
And they're both passed out, and morning kind of comes. We see that this is how Wolverine loses the sleeves, and we get Hugh Jacked Man. Uh, Someone comes, takes the van, Wade's tied up with seatbelts, and Wolverine is passed out from exhaustion. Takes the van, brings him to the rebel hideout, the rebellion,
Hmm.
and boom.
This is it.
The rest of the cameos we didn't know we needed. We
Yes.
got Jennifer Garner back as Elektra.
Yes.
We got Wesley Snipes as Blade. And we got Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yes. All wins. 100%.
Lots of subtleties in there of where's Daredevil? Oh, he died. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, well, meh.
Is that a character nod or a Jennifer Gardner and
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck broke up and got divorced? Hmm. Hmm.
Would definitely be interested in seeing Jennifer Garner come back to reprise that role going forward. Because
Abs-
why not? I
Yeah.
mean, actually, we could have her pretty much play anything at this point.
Hmm. Yeah.
Always, always, always a win in my book.
Um, we got a wonderful nod to Channing Tatum's horrific accent. Did we really not hire a dialect coach for this? And
Oh man, it was so bad.
for those of you who don't know, Channing Tatum has wanted to play Gambit for years.
Yep.
And the whole premise with this one was kind of a you wanted to, but like
Did anyone else want you
nobody
to?
else really wanted you to. So like we'll give it to you, but yeah.
I think he was putting on a little bit more than it needed to be, but it was again, it worked. It was hilarious to begin with. It was good to see him kind of come, I guess, some of the dreams come true as
Yeah.
far as him playing that role. Not only did he play that role, but he was in a comic accurate uniform.
Yep.
So he had, the high collar and the
Cal.
the neck thing and all that good stuff. So it was good. And it was good to see his power at work
Yes.
when he got to use his power. That was actually pretty cool too.
It was. They did a very good job with his staff as well as the whole card, slow motion, and throwing it all around.
Yeah.
They did a very good job with all of that.
Yes.
And the last member that we see is the one and only X-23, Miss Daphne Keene coming back. I am so happy we got more of her because I think she is so integral in Logan's development
Hmm.
in this universe. It's just I'm so glad they brought her back. And that one line that she has from the trailer that we actually get in the movie of the "you were never the right guy until you were."
Hmm.
Just perfectly delivered, perfectly emulated exactly what we needed.
Yep.
Um, and that conversation is when Logan finally opens up about what happened in his universe, how
Hmm.
he went out for a drink, and that's when the human struck, whether it was one of the human bureaus that came and struck and killed the mutants, or whether it was in part a Sentinel raid that did it. We don't know,
Hmm.
but he comes back. Everyone's dead. Jean, Beast, Storm, Cyclops, Iceman, Jubilee, everyone. He goes on a fucking murder spree, kills the bad guys, kills the good guys,
Kills
turns
everyone.
everyone
Yes.
against the X-Men and mutants, and single-handedly undoes everything Xavier fought for while proving Magneto kind of right.
Oh, back on that again.
But even then, it still proved him wrong
Yeah.
because Magneto believed that mutants could survive, but there had to be a war with the humans to get their seat at the table. Logan's rampage just proved that mutants needed to be exterminated,
Hmm.
more so.
Yep.
So, if anything, Logan just proved the humans right. Which there's a whole podcast we can do on the morals and philosophies of the X-Men universe and the analogies and allegories that they represent.
Right.
Um, but that's why he finally says, that's why I wear the suit. Scott and Jean and Storm all wanted me to wear it for so long, and I didn't. Now they're gone, so now I have to.
Mhm.
Which is it's touching. You finally peel back some of the layers of Logan's personality,
Right.
which is hard to do. The first like 8 layers are solid concrete and I
Before you get down to the skeleton, the adamantium skeleton.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's when we get the line from Laura of "You were never the right guy until you were."
Hmm.
Like, nut up, let's go.
Let's go.
You are this person if you choose to be, but you have to choose to be this person.
Hmm.
Now we move on to the start of, I guess, the third act of just nonstop violence and fight scenes
Yes.
where we start really fucking shit up. It is a head-on assault on Cassandra's lair. Again, in a Honda Odyssey.
Hmm.
I want to know whose balls they fondled to have
To
that.
get in there.
So they go in, Blade comes up, rocket launcher, and whose rocket launcher was it?
Oh gosh, they mentioned it.
Yeah,
Uh
Punishers.
yes, yes. Which one?
Yeah, which one? Four Punishers. Um, and he goes, doesn't matter. There's only one blade. Which sidebar here,
Uh-huh.
all these pre-production issues with Mahershala Ali's blade, and we have Wesley Snipes going. There's only one blade, and then Wade makes a fourth wall break. is that them preparing us to pull the plug on Blade? Like,
No. So just in the last few days, Kevin Feige has announced that Blade is going to be the next R-rated MCU film. So I think come hell or high water, there will be a Blade movie made. Now, will Mahershala Ali still play Blade in that film? That remains to be seen, but there will definitely be a film. Hell, it could even have Wesley Snipes in it somehow. We do know that Blade has a daughter in the comics, so I would not be shocked if the film is a handing of the baton from Wesley Snipes' character to his daughter character. The fanboys would lose their shit on that, but the
oh,
fanboys lose their shit on everything, so it really doesn't matter.
one of my friends who I was talking to on the way home from work said, Wesley Snipes was like, "Hey, I'm here," and apparently Marvel or Disney replied on Twitter like, "Keep your ringer on," and then immediately deleted it.
I think a lot of those post and delete posts are on purpose because they
Oh
know people
yeah,
are going to see these things and grab screenshots, and then that's a good way to get into the news cycle for the next 24 to 36 hours. So
yeah.
yeah,
For the record, Wesley Snipes still looks like he could murder a vampire.
he still looks badass. Yes.
Like, do not catch me on the wrong side of history. Uh, so they all pull up, they all roll up after Blade rocket launchers
The
giant
hands.
hands opens up. They all step out. X-23 has the same sunglasses that she stole from that gas station store, which is a wonderful touch. Gambit comes out, Deadpool comes out, Elektra comes out, and then Wolverine comes out of the trunk.
Of the back. The hatch comes up and he steps out. And then all hell breaks loose inside there. Mayhem.
A full-on brawl of
Yeah.
all of the mutants. Of course, Blade is going after Azazel.
Uh-huh.
Of course. Um, I love how, because Juggernaut's power is once he starts, he can't stop. And so X-23 literally cut him off at the ankles.
Mm-hmm. Smart. Super smart.
Yep, yep,
Get those Achilles out.
yep.
Both of them.
Uh, Elektra is just badass with the knives and daggers. Gambit's kicking ass with the bow staff.
The cards.
It's just yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Remember it.
remember it. Yeah. My name's Gambit. Remember it. Shit. Oh God. All the while, Logan and Wade are breaking in to fight Cassandra and confront her,
Yep.
trying to get Juggernaut's helmet on to Cassandra's head to block the psionic powers.
Mm-hmm.
They tried Magneto, but died and
He
melted.
did.
Yes. So they go back, they fight, this, that, and the other. She starts like finger fucking Wolverine's mind, where we get that scene where Logan's walking in the wheat field, collapses, and we see more of what happened. We start to hear Eminent screams
Mm-hmm.
of uh Days of Future Past. Good I did there.
I like
Um,
it.
and we get a little bit more context of the guilt that Logan is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
However, that is a ruse to distract Cassandra, where Wade then plops the helmet on, blocks the powers, and now we see Pyro being a self-serving prick.
It's always one.
Yeah. It was Spider-Man in Infinity War, or it was Star-Lord
Star-Lord.
in Infinity War and Pyro in
Hmm.
this movie,
Yeah.
where Pyro has a deal going on with Paradox and ends up shooting Cassandra a few times. She can't heal because Juggernaut's helmet, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
A little bit of dialogue there. Then they decide and to remember Charles Xavier's memory of Logan saying he loved, he would have loved you. He loved me. He would have loved all of you.
Hmm.
But if he would have brought you home, Wade, take the helmet off, let her heal. And which he does, she heals. And as a thank you, I won't kill you yet thing, lets him get back to their reality, Earth 10005,
Yep.
via a sling ring she took
Sling
off
ring.
of a magician.
Yes.
So
Unclear who that magician was. And
whether
that
it's
sling ring had slivers of infinity stones in it as well.
reality and time,
Yeah.
whether that was Wong or Doctor Strange, we don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
So they get back and shit starts just going fucking sideways. They get back and all of the pools come.
All of them.
We get Lady Deadpool, Head Pool, Kid Pool, Baby Pool, Wrexham FC Pool, Scottish Pool,
Cowboy pool.
Cowboy Pool. Yes.
Yes.
Uh Nice Pool also comes back and Dog Pool.
Dog pool.
How do we even get into this? 10
I
minutes
d
of pure action.
It was all action. I like that it was some of that side scrolling fighting like we used to have from the old video games. There was some close quarter fightings again inside of a bus. So it was a lot going on.
Nice Pool
What
stuff
I what
loading.
I thought was incredibly extremely hilarious was after they got through fighting and essentially defeating all of the pools, the whole pool army, they all just started to regenerate and come back. It is like, fuck, what do we do now? You know?
And the reason for that is Nice Pool didn't have the regenerative abilities because he's still Butterface.
Yeah.
He never went through the gene activation
Hmm.
sequence. So he never got the regenerative abilities, which is why he was shot so many times, died, and his head exploded. I do love how they went over to the donut cart and he used Nice Pool as a shield, and Wolverine holds up Dog Pool and just walks casually
Yeah.
across. He's like, we all know you ain't gonna shoot. Let's just pump it. But before that fighting begins, we get the Wolverine mask coming up
Yes.
with the perfect blowjob handles. I can't unsee that now that
Yeah. Yeah.
that comment was said. We go through and we find out Lady Deadpool is voiced by none other than Blake Lively.
Hmm.
We all
Which
thought it
is
might have been Taylor Swift, Blake
yeah.
Lively.
Yeah. I think whoever actually played the character was credited as Blake Lively.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure she was actually in the suit
Mm.
because this Lady Deadpool was quite tall. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter
And
who
this
was
Lady
in the suit.
Deadpool just had a baby.
Right. It doesn't really matter who was in the suit. It was, I think it was a good ploy by the filmmakers to keep that a secret for so long because it became such a thing in the zeitgeist
Yep.
of the world of who is this going to be? Who is this? Who is playing this character who had literally 2 minutes of screen time? It was again, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss to the way they did it and the amount of blue balling all of those psychotic fans must have felt.
Hmm.
Just it brings a tear to my eye. Happiness and wonder.
I love it. I love it because that again, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Mm-hmm.
keep some things secret.
Yes. And again, we didn't know too much about this movie.
Right.
Amazing how that happens. We didn't know too much and we really enjoyed it. Versus, as you always say, there's too much information out about a
Too much
lot of this
information.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so we have the whole fight. We got a Stanley appreciative banner on the bus for Stanley Steamers,
Hmm.
which was a very good homage.
Yeah. And
And
I think they'll continue doing that for as long as there is Marvel films,
mhm.
which is good.
We also get the reference of okay, we've done the multiverse thing. Can we done it? It wasn't good since the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. The Wizard of Oz did it the right way,
Yeah.
and that was 80 years ago.
Yeah. Well, even before that, It's a Wonderful Life
Hmm.
was the first multiversal movie. Weird to think of that as like the multiverse, but it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Um, so then who comes to save the day after all of the pools regenerate and come back and they're about to fuck shit up? Who comes to save the fucking day?
My man,
Peter Pool,
Peter.
who stuffed himself quite literally
Yeah.
into the OG Deadpool suit.
Yeah. That was
Um,
quite the scene
yeah.
for
And
sure.
apparently every universe has a Peter, and Peter
Yeah.
is legendary.
Yeah.
So he kind of saves the day. Everyone's partying. They sneak down into the subway station right after Blind Al says, I wish I was deaf. Shit, I wish I was deaf too. So they sneak down to the subway station, which is the TVA office for this branch, where we find out that is that where we find out? No, it was way sooner, where right before he breaks his nose, where we find out that he's gone rogue.
Oh, way back in the beginning?
Yeah, we
Uh,
find out that Paradox has gone rogue because he makes that upper management reference.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we knew that he was up to no good.
Starting making trouble in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Little fight
I
and
think I think we kind of knew that from the trailers too, but that's neither here nor there.
so it goes down there. Cassandra is trying to get the hedge trimmer or whatever the fuck he calls it, the super universe pruner,
Yeah.
to prune all universes where all that is left is the void, which is her domain.
Hmm.
She gets a hold of the machine, and then Deadpool and Wolverine try to stop it by trying to combine the antimatter and matter streams.
Don't cross the streams.
Get him, Ray. Uh, with this, Logan tries to make the noble sacrifice. I have nothing to live for. You have blah, blah, blah. Of course, Deadpool agrees and then beats him over the head with a fire extinguisher and takes his place.
Yeah.
How does that work out for him, Dante?
Well, I thought it was incredibly funny that it was, the classic two pillars that he has to hold on either side, but he can't quite reach it. So, it was a typical superhero third act of a film. Instead of it being a glowy light in the sky, it was a glowy light in the subway, you know. Um, so I thought that was actually pretty funny. But then him not being able to actually do the connection, so it had to be two people.
That was the very Deadpool part. Like, I'm going to make this noble sacrifice. Oh, I can't quite reach.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
And then of course Wolverine comes in.
and still struggles, and
Yeah,
then he activates the claws, which creates the bond,
yeah.
and we get a Guardians 1 reference of one person it would kill, two people is fine.
Yeah, all good. No worries.
Yeah, all good, no worries. It Deadpool's costume is fine.
Yeah,
Wolverine's shirt gets shredded.
yeah.
And,
Imagine how that happens.
and you have that second where you see Deadpool going,
Mm? Mm.
oh, that I LOL'd very much so in the theater during that.
Yes.
So they end up collapsing everything, increasing stability. We're all good. They save the day. And then B-15 shows up, Hunter B-15, who is now the new
Think basically regional manager or
yeah,
something.
the new Rovina Renslayer
Mm-hmm.
of the TVA coming down. Paradox is like, oh well, they died. My men died trying to save them, and blah 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 blah. And cue Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. God, the I know I said it before, but the soundtrack placement on this movie was just impeccable.
Very good.
Reiterations of Like a Prayer by Madonna, the way that they used it and stopped it and replayed it are just, oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Very well done all around.
Yes. So they come back. B-15 uh, takes Paradox away. They're gone. He's gone. Whatever. And then Wade's like, "Hey, can you save some people?" So we get X-23 back.
Mm-hmm.
Good. She's good. We're happy. They're happy. And then asks to fix Logan's universe, where we get the time travel paradox of if I fix it, you're not the Logan that saves this. So you're not the person who you became from that,
Mm-hmm.
which is always a questionable paradox of time travel. You go back, you change an event 20 years ago, you're not the same person who then developed into the one who went back to change it. So you never went back, so the event still happened. And that's why we don't cross our own time streams and we let Tony Stark invert it on a Mobius strip to create time travel.
That's right. It's you don't fool with time travel, basically.
Pretty much. You fuck with time, it's gonna skull fuck you the way the Human Torch wanted to Cassandra's charred body. Yeah. Um, After that, we got the final family dinner party
hmm Which has been done a lot here in
here and there,
yeah.
and we close the movie on the two masks sitting side by side and scene.
There it is.
And then they had to go and fucking fuck with all of our emotions.
That they did.
The goddamn audacity that these motherfuckers have where they went back to what we grew up with. They went back to Blade, Elektra, the original X-Men movies, overplaying Good Riddance by Green Day, another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Like, it was such a cheesy, like, family vacation from 2007 graduation party slideshow trope. And fuck their whole entire faces for making it work so well.
It was perfect.
It was they didn't get the closure, they didn't get the legacy that Blade wanted until now. Their characters and those actors got the closure
Hmm.
to do it, and closure for their universes, closure for their characters, for the actors, the appreciation that they deserved
Yep.
at the time.
Yep.
In just a beautiful montage. That was what, 45 seconds maybe, or was it the full
Yeah,
song?
it was quite a while it went on. And I think that was the closure that not only those characters needed, it was the closure that we as the fans needed as well.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming from the time we first heard that Disney was attempting to acquire the Fox properties. So of course, so that we can get the X-Men and mutants and all that shit.
Mhm.
But this film was the first time they've been sprinkling in some mutants here and there. Um, and giving us that guitar sting. But this was the first film where we got a chance to see some of those old characters, see some of the characters that were promised that we never got,
Mhm.
that they gave us. And so it was good to see those things and to kind of put a nice little bow on it. This is your swan song with this film. This is the end of it with this montage we're giving you. And now let's move on to the next thing.
The
So that
mutant.
was really it was really good to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Fast forward through all the credits, we hit this post-credit scene. If ever there was a post-credit scene, two post-credit scenes, the post-credit scene, this post-credit scene, post-credit scene. Wade Wilson back in the TVA of the I'm sick and tired of all you assholes fucking blaming me for this shit and framing Johnny Storm. Here's what actually happened. Rewinds it, plays it, and lo and behold, Johnny Storm said all of those skull fucking a cinnamon ring things about Cassandra Nova.
Yes. Yes, he did. And the funny thing about that is the way that he just riffed all of it.
Oh my God.
That just just thinking about how they film movies and how they film scenes and things like that. I, you, Chris
Who
Evans
the
should get
fuck
an
came up
award
with
just for
that?
that. Yes, yes. Who wrote that shit and how was he able to rip it just like
I want to see the behind the scenes footage of that recording.
yes,
Because there
yes.
is no way Ryan Reynolds and Wolverine are tied tip to tip, and he's rattling that off, and neither of them just burst out laughing.
Yeah.
There's
It's
no way I'm buying. Fuck.
oh, it was so good. So good.
And you see that recording because Wade looks up at the three-lensed security camera eminent of what?
Heaven.
Heaven from She-Hulk. So
Yes.
fuck your whole faces. So long
Cheers.
for all the fish. Oh
Again,
God.
very very good all of that all around the film, the credits, the post credit, everything just came together quite nicely. And I guess we've already seen that just over the first day, it's already made over $100 million, which you know, a lot of times films are judged based on what they make. That's neither here nor there, but this looks like it's going to be very successful for Marvel.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it's very successful for the fans.
Yeah, just superhero movies in general.
Yeah. 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 And one thing I don't think we even mentioned is, or maybe we did earlier in it, is that, even though this is an MCU film because it was done by Disney, you
Mhm.
didn't need to have that whole um where we at 16 years of movies and TV shows and comics and theories. You didn't need all of that, and you're still able to enjoy this. So that very exciting. And shit, I guess if we're being technical about it, it's even more than 16. It's 26 because the original Blade came out in
Yeah.
98, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about quite a long time that these films that the superhero film industry has been going on um in earnest, because I think we credit Blade as being the one
Yes.
that kind of sort of brought it from being
Oh,
campy and hokey.
these superhero film things might make us some money. Maybe we
Yeah,
should look at this.
they might actually be good.
And it
So,
took them another 10 years after Blade
yep,
to actually then really take it seriously.
yep, yep. Almost going into well, going into debt and almost going out of business and everything in order for them to finally come around and give us what we have today.
I'm not mad about it.
Nah, not at all. So, looking forward to the next thing in the MCU, which I believe is going to be Captain America: Brave New World, coming out on February 14th. So we have 6 months, 5.5 months until that comes out.
In terms of the MCU, but the MEU, we have Agatha.
Yes, Agatha comes out. Yep.
Yes, the Marvel Entertainment Universe. The
I
Marvel Extended Universe, whatever you want the E to stand for.
think that's the TV division or something. I don't know. They have it all
Yeah,
figured out. Oh, well, hell, the San Diego Comic-Con is going on this weekend, so we should be getting some news out of that as to some different things.
there will be some trailer reviews coming up. There will be some news coming up. We can probably squeeze in an episode, what, next? I mean, well, it's going on this weekend, and is it all next week too?
No, I think it's just this weekend.
That's
I
this
think
week.
it,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I think it
So
started maybe yesterday. I know Kevin Feige got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so congratulations to Kevin.
in LA and then flew up to San Diego for announcements in Holly.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of perfect there.
Yes. Yeah, we will do a recap of all of the Comic-Con announcements uh sometime next week.
Yeah.
Nothing's stone. Um yeah.
Before we
So
go, how many Deadpools do you give this?
how many Deadpool iterations do I give this? Purely to spite IGN's 7 out of 10,
Hmm.
I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh wow, nice, nice.
I don't know what would have made it or what it was missing to give it a 10 out of 10. Maybe if I got a like Magneto or something.
Hmm.
I I don't know. I don't know what it really would have taken to get it to 10. I know it wasn't there quite yet,
Right.
but it was damn fucking close. It is nine Deadpools and then the half of Deadpool that Juggernaut rips apart in
Yeah.
Deadpool 2. It's
Uh-huh.
one of those halves of Deadpool.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a 9.0, just a straight up 9. And same deal. I don't know what could have been included that would have uh, made that score go up some. And again, 9.0 and 9.5 aren't bad scores.
Considering
But
what we've been ripping the last few weeks. Like
right, right.
I hope you know that we're not just inflating these scores. Like we will tell you if we think something sucks.
Right. Um, so for me, again, the random, third acts are always they're tough in any film. Um, Especially in superhero films when we get to the third act. And like I made mention, there's normally the shiny thing in the sky that needs to be attacked. This time it was the shiny thing in the subway. There was some wonky, there was some wonky CGI moments. And
Yeah,
sometimes,
I remember thinking at some point, like, that was weird.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I want to kick myself in the ass because I'm a big fan of CGI
I
and
remember when it was
stuff.
when they blasted off on the Sentinel.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
see that smoke trail arc, it was very like staggered and pixelated. It was like, that's weird.
yeah,
Should have focused more on that.
yeah. And he's definitely when they come from behind do I even want to say this? Yes, I'm gonna
Yes.
say it because hopefully everyone who's seen the movie, everyone who's listening in has already seen the movie, so it wouldn't
If you
be.
haven't, sucks to suck. I gave you
Yeah,
spoiler alert warnings.
yeah,
Like,
like an hour ago. So,
yeah, fuck your face.
um, when they came from behind the donut cart to start to attack the Deadpool squadron, you could definitely tell that they did some CGI work on Hugh Jackman's arms for
Yeah,
sure. Especially you can see up around the shoulder area when he's walking, that it's just not quite matching every time his arm swings there.
yeah.
Um, and again, does it take away from the film? No. It's just some of those things that I notice because I'm a fan of CGI and I do some random CGI myself with different programs. So those are some things that I just noticed with my professional eye. But again, this movie gets a strong 9.0. It's a solid film all around, very entertaining. It took my sons to see it. They both enjoyed it a lot. Both think it's the best Deadpool film, and are very looking forward to where we go from here with the MCU.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess the question that we leave you guys with is what would it take to bring this movie to a 10 from your 9 ratings? Um, I am confident that you are going to enjoy this and have a fun time at the movie theater.
Absolutely.
I was laughing from the first goddamn scene when the Marvel Studios logo was going and you had that like offbeat played by a middle schooler trumpet trying to keep up with it. Like it was just everything about that was
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. This is definitely our longest episode that we have done, but we broke it down as much as we could. There's still shit we missed.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be coming up in future podcasts. Don't you worry, because
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
spastic as hell. We say anything.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm gonna see it again on Monday.
Okay, cool.
One of my friends wanted to see it, so I'm gonna go see it with them, and I'll be able to really look and analyze at it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. If you've stayed tuned this long, remember for other quips and stuff and announcements, best place to follow us is on Instagram at Shut Up and Enjoy Podcast. We will repost that to our respective Instagrams, but go give the grams some love.
Yeah,
Need
get
some
in
love.
there.
I need to give it some love, but it also needs love from you. It needs to feel like
Love is love.
it needs to feel like it matters. So yeah, thank you so much for listening and tuning in, and we will see you next week for a Comic-Con debrief.
All right.